Hello and welcome to another episode of Tenant Talks. We're now on our 9th episode of this new weekly web series that we launched here at COVE. Each week we sit down with a new member of the COVE community to learn a little bit more about the products and the projects that they're working on. Before I jump into the talk too much, I just want to get some items out of the way. Feel free at any point to start asking questions in the chat and the Q&A below. It's at the bottom of your screen. And if you're watching on YouTube, just simply submit a chat request and I'll be able to answer those, direct those questions to Arnold to answer. Arnold Furlong is actually our guest today. He's the president and CEO of Dartmouth Ocean Technologies. He's here in a very sunny Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So sunny, in fact, I've seen him drive in his convertible. So welcome, Arnold.
Thank you very much, Kyle. Really pleased to be here. And yes, you're right. It's a lovely day outside here in Dartmouth.
Awesome. Let's jump right in and get a little bit more background on your professional career, because I know it's almost as exciting as DOT and has led you to create this company. So maybe we can jump in and go from there.
Yeah, it's been a great career with all kinds of fantastic people. So I have a Bachelor of Science degree from Mount Allison University, and followed that up with a mechanical engineering degree from Tons, which is now Dalhousie, of course. So those two degrees led me into the world of engineering and the oceans. I started as the founding employee of Brook Ocean Technology. Mr. Brook found a contract in hand and needed some help, so he actually hired me at that point in time. And we grew that company. I grew it, and my partner, Jeff Levins, joined me, and we basically took Brook Ocean to some pretty exciting times, ultimately selling it to Odin in Norway, and eventually that was acquired by Rolls-Royce. I soon left Rolls-Royce and bought into Geospectrum. So again, found some fantastic associates and people, did some very exciting project work, learned an awful lot about acoustics. And a few years ago, we managed to actually sell that company to an Israeli firm, Elbit. Elbit was very interested in what we were doing, and they've allowed the company to grow significantly since they acquired it. About a year ago, I decided I would leave the Geospectrum world and try something new. So I decided to start Dartmouth Ocean Technologies, DOT, very similar to the original BOT from 25 years ago. And the focus has been oceanographic platforms, towed and vertically profiling, and also microfluidic lab-on-chip chemical sensors. Very exciting world, which I also knew very little about 6 to 9 months ago. So learning as I go, and having all kinds of fun with some fantastic people. So looking forward to a great run here over the next several years.
That's great, Arnold. So you've been in here at COVE now for what is it, 6, maybe 9 months now? And you have some really good people here on your team. Can you kind of jump in and explain some of the people you're working with to get this off the ground?
Yeah, we've got some great staff. We've got a couple of senior level engineering subcontractors. Mr. Lee Miller's senior mechanical engineer. We're working with Mark Wright, who's a colleague from my past. Mark's working certainly physically distancing from Sydney, Nova Scotia. We've got Nick Greeno here working in the space from time to time. And of course, I come and go and try to stay out of trouble. We're talking to a lot of potential clients and having all kinds of exciting opportunities. And I feel we will be looking for staff over the next few months.
That's fantastic. That's great to hear. Maybe we can jump in now and explain a little bit more about your products, what projects you're working on, and we can queue up the presentation that you have ready to go.
Sure, let's do it. Is that looking good?
Perfect. Looks great.
All right. Well, I'll get started here. I'll just a fairly quick presentation on all these fun products that have materialized out of thin air. Basically, Dartmouth Ocean Technologies And we're located at COVE and enjoying all of our fellow associates and fellow companies. It's a great feeling around the two buildings here in the Dartmouth waterfront. Dartmouth Ocean Technologies. We design, manufacture, and market platforms and microfluidic lab-on-chip LOC sensors. So that's a pretty exotic name. The platforms are a little less exotic. We have the towed stable depressors. These V-wings have been in the marketplace for a good 25 to 30 years. A very stable product, pardon the pun. And we've been selling them left, right, and center for the last 9 months. So very exciting recent history with the product, and an even more exciting future as we're responding to requests for quotes all over the world. The vertical profiler is another platform that we're working with. It's basically a buoyancy changing profiling system. It's an autonomous vertical profiler, which again can be fitted with a variety of sensors. The other side of our company is working on chemical, biological, oceanographic sensors. So we're doing phosphate, which is a very important chemical to know how it's interacting in our oceans and lakes and streams, and environmental DNA, EDNA as it's called. EDNA is a very exciting leading edge topic right now in the sensor world. We're able to monitor for harmful algae blooms, monitor for certain types of finfish, a variety of applications that is really exciting for the future. So just to run through them again: V-wings, the DOT ocean profiler, a phosphate sensor, and an environmental DNA. That's quite a collection of products to try and get your head wrapped around and pitch and promote around the world. But we seem to have hit a nerve, and we're getting lots of excitement and interest from various corners of this pandemic-stricken world. So we'll start off with the V-wing. So the V-wing, I have Roger Race working with me as my business partner. Roger is in Dartmouth, Massachusetts. He's our V-wing subject matter expert. He's been building and selling these wings for quite a few years. I won't exactly say how many, but basically he's a great guy. He knows a lot of the market, and he's been very helpful to bring this product to fruition with us shipping it out of Dartmouth, Nova Scotia. So Roger and I have been working at this for about the last 9 months. So the family of products, there's a variety of sizes. They're listed there on the slide. But basically, it's everything from about a 460 millimeter backbone right up to a 1.22 meter backbone. And we're seeing a lot of interest in this basic depressive towed body. We've had a significant number of sales in the last 6 to 9 months. It's a very useful platform. It can be used to tow oceanographic sensors. It can be used to tow acoustic transducers. And there's even a few very interesting ocean energy projects that are relying on wings to create downward forces in various directions. The largest wing we're talking to somebody about right now is about a 6-foot wingspan, which is a tremendously large body. Just to touch on some of our recent deliveries, we've done some wings for some local clients, Ocean Sonics, Geospectrum, and SOAR, to mention 3. And really excited in our relationship with EdgeTech down in the US. We've actually made an announcement last week that we delivered 10, but in fact, that was the second 10. So we've sold 20 to EdgeTech with 5 more on order as we speak right now. And we're getting tremendous interest from the international survey companies. So they're looking for very large wings that can be used to get their towed acoustics down really deep and stable. So with the V-wings, we're not going to stop at just the wing, however. We're looking at the complete system. So we're currently under contract to deliver a V-wing system to one of our customers. They're buying the V-wing, some sensors, winch and towing solution, software, and very excited to be able to turn the corner from just a subcomponent, the wing, right up through to the complete towed system. Very exciting. We'll move on to the profiler float. So this is an autonomous vertical profiling robot. We're teamed with Boston Engineering on this. They're the ones who designed the original technology for NOAA. And we have a very close working relationship with Boston Engineering. And we're going to be looking at bringing this technology into Canada and the rest of the world, and probably helping Boston Engineering with their work inside the USA as well. So it's basically the initial prototype unit is about 2.5 inches in diameter and is about 1 foot long. Changes its buoyancy to achieve a 200-meter cast. The exciting thing about this product is that we are able to increase the size and length to accommodate any sensor requirement. And basically, with our engineering team here at COVE, we can accomplish just about anything that our customers require. So basically, they take that profiling, buoyancy changing float, and we add the sensors that are required for the application. So basically, it's a solution that we are providing our customers. Moving on to our sensor side of the company, the really exciting technology we're working on is lab on chip. So this is microfluidics-based lab on chip technology, and we're working on a sensor to measure phosphate. So basically, when agriculture deploys fertilizer onto the fields, onto your grass, the fertilizer runoff is nitrogen and phosphate, and measuring that phosphate in the ocean is a really important measurement. It's really important for the sustainable health of our oceans, our rivers, and our lakes. So we're currently building our first commercial submersible units, and we're finding extreme interest in our benchtop version of that sensor for commercial use. And we're pretty excited about the market. The microfluidics is really a tremendous capability. It provides a much lower power solution and a much lower reagent use solution. Our microfluidics technology is coming out of the Sieben lab at Dalhousie University, and my associate, Dr. Vince Sieben, is assisting in that area, and his students. We're going to be deploying the phosphate sensor on a variety of platforms, buoys, V-wings, moorings, and benchtops, of course, if you're working with the benchtop unit. Pretty exciting field for us. The phosphate sensor, the prototype phosphate sensor has been deployed on the Sea Cycler, and it's lined up to be deployed again in the coming season. And we're seeing a lot of interest from aquaculture. So measuring phosphate at aquaculture sites has a tremendous potential, and we're looking forward to being able to make some very exciting announcements in the coming months in this market. We'll wrap it up with our latest and most novel technology, which is environmental DNA. So some of you may be familiar with the technology. It basically is the ability to monitor and seek out DNA in situ. So what we can do with our EDNA sensor, we are designing an EDNA sampler, which will then be built into a Hab Hunter. So Hab stands for harmful algae blooms. And there's a picture of one on the screen, the lovely green color in the water in that upper picture. And basically that harmful algae bloom has the ability of basically killing seafood, harming aquaculture sites, and hurting people in general. So basically what we will be providing soon is a sensor that can sample for HABs and eventually process that sample into a signal that says you have a HAB problem or not. So a very exciting opportunity, again, keenly tied to the aquaculture business, and there should be some announcements coming in the next month or so. And basically what we're actually doing there is looking at the DNA. So we can design this sensor to look for the DNA of harmful algae blooms, as I've been talking about, but also for the the DNA of a salmon, of a whale, or a variety of other targets that we can be using we can be tasked with looking for with this technology. So with that, I want to say thank you for listening. And basically, if there's anything that we can do with you or for you, or any solutions we can help you work out, please contact me. And my email address and phone number is on the screen there, but you can find me by just doing a web search on Dartmouth Ocean Technologies. Thank you very much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Arnold. That was a really good overview of all the wide breadth of products and offerings that that DOT has to offer. So let's say I'm a sensor company, for instance, and I see the D-Wing as an opportunity to hop onto this platform. Is that something that I could come to you with and look to collaborate on?
Yes, we get emails and calls from around the world almost daily. Some customers have very strong hands-on engineering teams that can take their specific requirement and package it onto the bottom of one of these wings themselves. Other customers want us to completely engineer the solution, and they'll actually either ship us their sensor for fitting and ballasting, or we'll build a mock-up prototype of that sensor. So we can work with either type of customers, and we're doing that with both as we speak, actually.
Fantastic. On the phosphate sensor, for instance, there seems like there's a large opportunity there in kind of non-traditional ocean tech, less so much the oceanographic, more so on the really interesting and scalable aquaculture side. Is that true? Very
much so. Yeah, aquaculture has a big potential play in our future. We've been working. The Seabin Lab has designed and built the prototype and written several papers on the topic. We're in the process of. Last summer we were actually testing the original Seabin Lab prototype here at Dartmouth Ocean Technology on the jetty at COVE. But over the last few months, we've been actually redesigning that probe from a commercial perspective. So the team here at DOT have been working with the team at the Seabin Lab to refine the design, make it more robust, and get it ready for deployments at sea. And we hope to have a few of these units ready for testing within the next couple of months.
So we did have a question come in from the audience, actually. Someone was curious why, after 2 successful runs in your professional career, why the third time? Were you bored? Did you see an interesting opportunity and you wanted to strike on it? Can you give us a little bit of background on that?
I think my sweet spot's about 20 people. When the companies get to be about 50 or 60 people, I tend to get a little antsy. And I don't know, I just felt that there was a lot of really fun things happening at COVE with all the startups. So I don't know, started taking long lunch breaks and chatting with a lot of people at the COVE, and going to a lot of seminars and workshops, and finally stumbled upon the V-Wings from my past, the vertical profiler from my current relationships, and found this really fun microfluidic lab-on-chip technology out of the Seabin Lab. So I'm just looking to have some more fun and work with some great people.
That's great. We actually have a question coming in now too from chat. Do you see that the market has remained strong throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, or has things changed?
Things have slowed down, just like I have. I've been, hunkered down in my basement office. But the last month we are getting inquiries for several of the products from all over the globe. We're dealing with Australia, Hong Kong, Singapore, the US, South America. So I would say it slowed down, but I certainly think it has not gone away. And I'm a little nervous about the explosion we're going to see when people do come out of their basements and all of a sudden realize their projects are 4 months behind. So we're seeing that type of agitation over the last month.
And then I see behind you is actually almost looks like a trade show booth setup. So your marketing plans might have changed a little bit. I know you've had a lot of good success and traction online, specifically maybe like LinkedIn, for instance, that you're seeing an increased viewership of products online. That's probably changed a little bit too.
Yeah, and I'm new to LinkedIn. I'm not an expert, but I have done a few press releases in my history. So we've written up a few press releases on recent sales and deliveries to important customers, and with the local community supporting us, it's been tremendous to see 2,000 to 3,000 to 4,000 hits or views on some of these press releases and some of these photographs of our products. So yeah, the LinkedIn is working quite well, even though I don't quite know what I'm doing all the time. But I certainly see Dartmouth Ocean Technology moving towards more of a digital marketing effort over the coming months.
Awesome. What about how has it been working with university research groups? Has that been a challenge, or has it been smooth sailing? Can you give some background on that? Because some people from the audience want a little bit more info.
Well, they're great people. I mean, the researchers and the students, they're just tremendously supportive. Basically, the way I like to work with my associates is to work hard to listen to what they're trying to teach me. And then once think I've got it in mind, I kind of explain my perspective on the commercial approach. And there's usually some pushback here or there, but it's been really an enjoyable opportunity to see how some young PhD potential students are getting their degrees. So I don't have a PhD, so it's been a very much a learning experience for me and a very enjoyable one.
What about looking forward for DOT? We talked a lot about the last 9 months. What do you need to do to achieve kind of the next phase of DOT? What does that look like to you?
Well, I think the company has built a really strong foundation. We've got a couple of key platforms, and we've certainly got the novel leading edge microfluidic lab on chip sensor capability within our team. I think the sensors are going to really drive our success. I think EDNA is just going to explode in the marketplace for us. And really excited to see where these sensors and a couple of platforms are going to take this group of people. Success is ours to mess up. So we've got to just be careful, make the right steps over the next couple of years. But I really do think we're going to have some really phenomenal products with some real wide-reaching markets around the world.
Fantastic. Maybe we'll leave it on that note. People want to get in touch with you. They can we can either go back and show that screen again, but they can contact you at Dartmouth Ocean on your website, find you online, and when things open back up here at COVE and we do our networking events, I'm sure they'll see you around. But thank you very much, Arnold.
Thank you very much, and appreciate your time. Thanks, Kyle, and have a great day. Enjoy that sunshine.
Thanks, will do. And I just want to apologize to everybody watching. There was a bit of a lag again, but we'll be back next week. We'll have the issues corrected. See you next Tuesday for Tenant Talks. And again, thank you very much, Arnold. Have a great day and enjoy this beautiful week.